Skibbie with JRS Marketing Communications. I help businesses be seen and be heard. We all have our smartphones within reach, in our pockets, in our purses, on the nightstand, etc. And it's become a vital tool to market small, mid-sized, even large enterprise-sized businesses. And there's ways to do it that levels the playing field between everything from a startup business all the way through to that enterprise level. We can do that not only at a budget point that's comfortable for everyone, but then we're collecting data so that our future marketing decisions become more intelligent. We're able to target people more effectively, ensure that we're reaching them, and push them down, traditional sales funnel. So today we're going to cover digital marketing strategy. First couple slides will be exposition, just about my thoughts on the topic. Then we'll jump into the components of digital marketing strategy, looking at mobile responsive websites. Is everybody familiar with that term and what that means? Okay. Mobile responsive websites mean that the website presents in a pleasing fashion across smartphones, tablets, and the desktop. So it will automatically respond to whichever device that you have. Images will resize, menus will change, text layouts will change. We've all been on our smartphone with the two fingers together trying to make it larger and smaller in order to click. That is a non-mobile friendly site. Going back to April of 2015, Google made mobile responsive sites a ranking factor. So when we're talking about search engine optimization, and there's over 200 factors that determine who ends up on that front page for the search. And we'll cover that lightly in a subsequent slide. Social media will also cover why someone would be part of social media, how to specifically target things through data, boosted promotions and advertisements, and then just general engagement best practice. When I refer to SEO and PPC, SEO is search engine optimization, and those are the over 200 factors that go into making sure your website is going to be ranking for particular terms that are relevant to your business. Those terms aren't determined by me, they're not determined by you, they're determined by Google and the geography that you're in. Google will tell you for any particular terminology what the monthly search volume is for that geography. And you'll want to be positioning your website, your business for the industry that aligns with the most search traffic. That's probably, as we get deeper into SEO, we'll anticipate a significant number of questions. PPC stands for pay-per-click, which is Google AdWords, and that is looking at that search volume and making sure that you can place advertisements for those terms. So it's kind of a quick fix to climbing the search engine optimization ladder. We're probably all familiar with e-notices through receiving them from multiple businesses, but these are great tools for anyone looking to connect with their audience of current and prospective customers, providing the opportunity for delivering blog content, for instance, relevant to your business, and then shaping that editorial based on who engages with the content. Reflection, I think I just updated these slides, so I'll have to see what that means, but then we'll close with questions. So I'm here to claim that marketing hasn't changed that much. Tools that are in place to deliver messaging and the data that we get on the back end is much more advanced, but frequency, reach, and duration are still the basics of marketing. You want to get a message out to the right person, you want to get it to a frequency of someone remembering that message when they're about to make a purchase, and you want to be able to provide a swift purchase path navigated through your website. Some of the things that have changed, a traditional sales funnel where somebody initially is exposed to your product and that creates awareness, then they go into interest, consideration, and intent, and then the evaluation before purchase. Back in the day, that used to be marketing only at the top and creating awareness and interest, and then a salesperson or customer service agent would take over that sale and push someone towards a decision. Now, with all the information we have at our fingertips, 75% of that decision is based online, and they can know you, your competitor, what your product does, its strengths and weaknesses, reviews, and price points for you and your competitors. Then they come to you and they're ready to purchase because they've already made the decision. So a slight change in consumer behavior, but that really necessitates getting the word out about your business in multiple fashions. And we'll cover how people are accessing information right now. And maybe that models your purchase behavior. I myself am a strong networker. I belong to multiple groups. I still go out face-to-face and try and build relationships. But if there's something that I don't know a personal contact for, we're on Google, we're on Amazon, and it shows up to my doorstep in 2 days. I mean, that's the type of opportunity that being online and being in digital marketing strategy allows for you and your business. Whether you're a mechanic, whether you're a travel blogger, whether you're an entertainment provider, or yet to be determined. The opportunities are there, and it really becomes a byproduct of competition for your industry, content that you're purchasing, the structure of your website, and the keywords that you structure your website for. And then getting out as much information as possible that says, this is what I do, this is how I do it, this is where I do it, and this is when I do it. So mobile search is now over 60% of search through Google. That's important, and that's a global statistic. So there's ways to determine where your traffic is coming from. If you have a website in place and you have analytics installed, you can tell if it's PC, desktop, or tablet. That information might help you serve advertisements restricted to devices. It may give you more motivation to upgrade your website to a mobile-friendly or mobile-responsive site. That's the big thing about all digital marketing, is it's going to give us data to fuel future decisions. 92% of consumers don't intend to buy during their first visit. You know, I had that early slide of our sales funnel and how that's changed. People are kicking the tires, people are doing their research, people are checking referrals, recommendations online, going to social media. Now close to 70% of adult Americans are social media users. And I bet is a statistic, it's at least one. And there's some with multiple. You can model your own behavior on that if you're on 1, 2, 3, etc. So I mentioned frequency, reach, and duration. You know, when I was in marketing, it was 7 impressions before somebody would remember something. You had to get your brand or your message in front of someone in 7 different sources over time. Last I heard anything about that number, it was as high as 21. You know, there's always documentaries on the news where they're talking about, you know, the 4-year-old who's already seen 10,000 ad images and can recognize McDonald's and Disney. And we are constantly surrounded with advertisements. It used to be traditional in print and media or event specific, and you really had a hard time drawing the line from that promotional piece to an actual sale. There was some coupon codes, there was some, you know, redemption of the pieces. But now when we look at digital, every one of these can be tracked to a particular metric. For the mobile-friendly websites, we can install Google Analytics. That'll tell you who's visiting your site, how long they're staying, where they're coming from, if they're watching a video, if they came from a pay-per-click ad, what terms they're searching when they find your website. Social media, again, this is where knowing who your ideal client is becomes very valuable because you can target them specifically on social media. Successful case study for some ads we've done on Facebook was in the insurance industry. And insurance is heavily driven towards life milestones, right? If you have a child, they're going to try and sell you life insurance. If you buy a home, they're going to try and sell you homeowners. If you own a car, they're going to try and sell you automotive. In Facebook, you can target 3 to 6 months in advance. They call it in market. And you can target someone who's going to buy a car. You can target someone who's searching for a house and potentially going to buy a house. You can target by interest. You can target by behavior. You can target by demographics with number of children in household, overall household income. And then there's just the day-to-day engagement where you can build affinity and spread your message by your constituency, the people who like your page and who are liking, commenting, and sharing on your posts. Pay-per-click is immediate. We can have an ad running in less than 24 hours and we can have the phone ringing for terms that we think will drive traffic. There's different things you can do outside of just text ads on the search engine results page. We've all probably had our shopping cart follow us to social media or remind us to come back and buy something on our, the remaining internet searches. That's called remarketing and retargeting. And you can do that both in Facebook and in Google AdWords. Search engine optimization, again, that's SEO, that's what we refer to as really becoming the authoritative resource for a term that you have identified can drive revenue to your business. For us, that may be digital marketing strategy, maybe video production, and we can always target that geographically as well. So we operate out of Arlington Heights, we can do graphic design Arlington Heights, we can do search engine optimization Arlington Heights. All these terms would be potentially items that we could bid on or items that we could create content. Short form blog posts, videos, podcasts, etc. that can now drive interest so that people want to engage with our brand. Looking at electronic email, again, we'll have a slide later in the presentation that'll give you some of the data provided by that. But when we send out an electronic email, we usually have a lead article, that's a new blog post or a case study about a project that we've recently completed. We'll have an upcoming speaking engagement or event that we're participating in or sponsoring. And then at the bottom, we'll have upcoming events of surrounding area chambers and other networking events. To a degree, every email that we've sent, the greatest engagement is in that upcoming events phase, which is why we put it at the bottom. It's like the grocery store putting the milk in the back of the store. You want people to engage and scroll and look at the stuff that you're sharing, not just open it and then disengage. We mentioned podcasts and videos. Again, unless you're going to become a professional podcaster and that's going to be the marketing angle, you can do guest podcasts, you can find people who are podcasting and talk about what you're passionate about or your industry. And then you can link to those on your website. And there's power to those links that we'll cover further in the search engine optimization portion. So I was kind of remiss at the strategy portion only being one bullet point. It is the most important step in anything digital marketing related. We can do amazing things when it comes to digital marketing strategy. We work with a retailer that we're able to drive seasonal traffic around their promotions, in-store traffic. We work with an HVAC client, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, that we're decreasing their cost per click that surges when it's 90 degrees and everybody wants to have their air conditioner fixed. We can promote events, but we have to know who the client persona is and we have to know the keywords that are relevant to your business. And that's the homework that's done on the strategy development side. Typically, our strategy documents will incorporate the keyword traffic from Google. They'll have name, address, and phone consistency, which is vital for search engine optimization. You don't want to have 123 West Avenue, 123 West Boulevard, 123 West Street, because it'll see that as 3 different businesses. You want to make sure that you list your phone number appropriately across directories, and having that strategy document to refer to makes all that easier. You want to have a 200 and a 500 word description for different profiles as you're creating directory listings. And a directory listing would be everything from registering with yellow pages or white pages to all of your social bookmarking profiles across Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. You want the digital signals to all say the same thing, because Google can't be subjective. They can't say, oh, well, I know this business at West Boulevard is the same as West Street. All they can see is that the text doesn't match. So that becomes more reinforcement to your business being what you say it is, who you say it is, when and where you say it is. Web platforms, there's a lot of different development environments. A lot of them are providing kind of free websites now. I know WordPress does free. Weebly, Wix, Squarespace, there's a number of different builders. Very few businesses require custom development. If you're going to have a scheduling functionality for your auto shop, perhaps that would be a custom functionality. They can all be incorporated through plugins or modules within the different development environment. Looking at tactics, again, this image is representative of the hub and spoke concept where you want all the marketing traffic to be driven back to your website, and you want your website to accurately reflect what you do. Whether you're engaged in sales efforts or social media, email or event marketing, you want that to be driving traffic back to your website. Driving traffic and hopefully engagement, again, which is measurable, the time on page and the number of pages that people click on. Just talking big numbers, Google is processing over 3.5 billion searches a day. and they have over close to 90% of the search market. And this is probably 6 to 9 months old, the statistics. And then more than half of Google searches are from mobile devices. Again, that's a global stat. So when we're talking, mobile responsive, that's really an aesthetic and a navigation, like a user experience where somebody can land on the site, the information lays itself out in a friendly manner, they can engage and navigate through the website. But all of that is great if they don't call you, fill out a contact form, purchase, or schedule. So that's really what the goal of your website should be. And again, some of the best practices, phone number prominently displayed, access to a contact form on each page, providing exclusive content, perhaps with a gateway that requires a subscription sign up. We've all seen this for case studies and white papers in our industry. And then having pop-up forms that either can be clicked away or require you to fill them out before you can continue navigating through the page. And then having your address displayed on every page, again, is a search engine optimization best practice, and then keeping track of all the data and tracking with analytics.
Tracking, what were the tracking options? The last one.
Analytics.
I know, what kind of analytics?
So Google Analytics?
Oh, you're getting into it.
Yeah, I apologize. This is the base page for the overview of Google Analytics. You can dig very deep into referral traffic, social media engagement, video clicks, the different keywords. But basically, this is how many unique visitors are landing on your site, how many pages they're engaging with when they're there, percentage of new versus returning users, how long they're on the page, and then bounce rate, which is if somebody comes to your site and doesn't click or doesn't engage any further with your site and then leaves, that's considered a bounce. So all of these engagement metrics are a ranking factor. Just like social media engagement is a ranking factor, and now individual user website engagement is a ranking factor. And if you think about that, strategically, Google wants to provide, Google is in business to make money. Let's not beat around the bush for that. But they also want to provide a service, and they want to give you what you want, when you want it, where and how you want it. So if somebody is landing on your page and leaving, Google says you're probably not providing the best solution to that search. And they're not going to put you in the search results anymore because your engagement is low. But as you start to increase, somebody lands on your page, they click to a blog article, maybe they watch a video, then they fill out a contact form, they're on the page for 2, 3, 4 minutes, then they're saying, oh wow, that's a valuable resource that people use for the terminology here. So this is worldwide data, and this is the most famous judged in active users. So Facebook has over 2 billion daily users. YouTube is rapidly gaining on them with 1.5 billion. And the information on YouTube viewership is staggering. The growth numbers behind how much video people watch and the growth from year over year, unbelievable. WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger are, again, the messaging apps that we talked about, and those growth numbers are outpacing any of the social media. Those have really come out of nowhere in the last 3 to 5 years. And you look, things like Twitter, LinkedIn didn't even make this cut. So Twitter's at 330 million. Instagram's at 800 million. And that's, daily users. So you think about these audiences that are on there, and somebody asked earlier, is this separating people from humanity? It's almost creating more opportunity to engage based on unique interests. So the old library card catalog system, right? That was how they just classified large volumes of information. Well, now with 2.1 billion people using something on a daily basis, it's hashtags. And it's, being able to search within the social media for any topic. Whether it's travel recommendations or mechanic tips, all these things are searchable. And we don't have any current statistics, but for a while, people weren't leaving their social media of choice to go to Google and search. So Facebook was the top referrer of website traffic. So again, search engine optimization and pay-per-click, we're primarily talking about the search engine results page. This is a snapshot of a Google search engine results page for signage. So, you know, I must have done this for my office. We've got Arlington Heights on top there, and fast signs. This is called the Google Map. So does everybody here, has everyone claimed their Google My Business profile? So I advise you, that's a takeaway that you all can do. Claim your Google My Business profile, and then within that you can manage your map listings and your Google Plus profile as well. So they call it the triple pack. And this is, you know, vitally important for local businesses, because if you're not on maps, anybody searching in your geography isn't going to locate your business. And it's less competitive based on geography, because depending upon your business, there's less people here than there's going to be underneath here, which is the organic. The posts here up top and over here, this is Google Shop. You can do individual items here, and then drive traffic right back to the purchase pages. And then here, this is the pay-per-click advertising that we talked about, indicated by the red rectangle